Tactics has returned to War of the Visions. This time we're going over Agrias, Delita, Mustadio, the new Blades of Grass UR Vision card, as well as the MR Vision card, the Red Chocobo, which comes with its own Esper, the Red Chocobo. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in and spending that time here today as we go over some of these very powerful and very cool Final Fantasy characters. Orlando and Ramza are not going to be covered in this video. Do not worry, I already have videos for them from when they were originally released. They're still just as strong as before in their own right, so if you want to check those characters out, I'll have that link down there in the description for you. So let's start in here right away with Delita. Delita is going to be an original job here in the form of Squire. He's also going to have the sub jobs of Soldier and Paladin, which give him a unique little aspect of some sort of bulky bruiser damage dealing character, which is also what Agrias sort of is here. Delita is more on the offensive side, Agrias is more on the defensive side, so he's more of an offensive bruiser, sort of similar to how Orlando-ish was, alright, and Agrias is going to be a defensive, actual bulky character. So the TMR here for Delita, this fire-based unit, move 3, jump 1 is the endurance vest here. It is heavy armor, it is 388 HP, 8 defense and 10 evasion here for you guys, and then it has the TMR ability of Relegate, which restores AP, and it can be cast on someone other than who is equipping the Trustmaster reward here. So this is pretty powerful. It's nothing as strong as, say, Ziza's TMR, Ziza's TMR. It's not AP restore for multiple turns. It's just a one sort of injection of AP into your character, but that can give you the head start that you need in, you know, PvP or a PvE environment. So it is pretty powerful here. And his master ability is 20% attack. He can also have a wide selection of equipment here. He wears armors, hats, helms, cloth, and accessories. So he can wear pretty much everything out there. He is a swordsman at heart here, so he is using only swords. Now, let's get into his stats here. He's fairly balanced. He's got, you know, a decent amount of HP. He's got a good amount of attack, things of that nature. He's not like the quickest character in the game, but he's not slow either. He's kind of moderate everywhere. A little bit more HP than you'd expect from a squishy-ish character, but he's not going to be like super bulky, super bruiser. He's going to have stats pretty similar to Orlando did back in the day. Now, his damage type resistances and element resistances here: 10% slashing, 15% piercing, -5 striking, 10 missile, and -20 to magic. He is 20% resistant to ice damage and 10% weakness to water damage there for you guys. Now, on his board stats here as well, you're going to see he gets 4 defense and 0 spirit, so he's not going to have a lot of crazy bulky natural defense and spirit like you would on like a tank class. He just has a decent amount of HP, long range attacks, things of that nature. Speaking of attacks, let's get into the skills here for you guys. He's going to have a nice selection of support passives here for you. Move +1 for moving across the battlefield. Acquired AP up, maybe for someone who is using him in PvE. Remember, acquired AP up only counts for auto attacks that you do there. It's not going to affect his TMR ability or anything of that nature. Holy Knight's protection, this comes from his Paladin sub job. 12% extra HP, 12 defense. That's going to give you that extra bulk, all right, against physical damage dealers there. Then he also has self-sacrifice from Soldier. Traditionally, one of the best passives if you're trying to just do damage in the game. 60% attack once it's at max level, and then 8% weakness to all of the different damage types in the game: slashing, piercing, striking, magic, and missile. His counters here, pretty interesting selection. He has counter tackle, which is striking fire damage, counter slash, which is slashing on non-elemental damage, and then Paladin's Guard here. A lot of your guys out there are going to be taking Paladin's Guard. If you're trying to go up against physical damage dealers, you want him to have that nice proc rate to just take 45% less damage from, you know, that sharpshoot or from that crush armor or whatever it is that you're fighting against out there if you're going up against physical team comps in the arena there. Now, for his passive abilities out of the way here, we have his active skills. These are on his main job. You'll have access to these always. And he's got the most important skill in the game, Stone Throw. All right, that joke didn't go over too well. You are going to be turning this off a lot of the times there. Thank you for the AI update. But Stone Throw hits here. He can be Stone Throw buddies with Mont, I guess. He does have Chant, just like Ramza did. But then he has 3 skills right out the gate here. We have a Crush Accessory, which is decent range here and does damage. We have Cleansing Strike, which does damage in range. Same mod as Crush Accessory, 1.75 times mod. This one has a 25% chance to inflict doom, and this is kind of the specialty of these tactics part 2 characters. They do damage, but they also have these sort of status effects, right? Doom's not the most prominent one out there, but he's going to have some other ones to go over as well. Now we have Karma Blade here, which is his Fire in Peril here. The only problem with Karma Blade, as you can see, is you have to be point blank range to use this. Thankfully, he has that move +1 passive. So if you want to get up there, you can Karma Blade. Now, the Squire secondary stuff, so you have to equip Squire as your sub-job if you want to use these, are probably the things that you're going to be going with. Now we have Faraga Blade. It is a slashing fire damage skill, so very strong. It's going to use all your slash up attack stuff, and it's going to be his hardest hitting, longest range skill that he has in conjunction with each other. Range of 3 here. It's going to be a 2.0 mod, 22 cost in the AP, so it's relatively cheap actually for how much powerful the mod is here. 2.0 is like the precipice. It's the very top of the mods that we get for a lot of the skills out there, especially for physical damage dealers on a range skill like this in FFBE, War of the Visions. We also have Judgment Blade here, which is going to be a very nice skill here, and this is going to be his bread and butter, probably his best skill. And if you are going to be using him in PvP, you probably are going to be having Squire equipped for this skill. 2.0 mod, just like Faraga Blade, but it has a 25% chance to stop your opponent when you hit them. And on top of that, not only does it have the same effective range, it's only 2 range, but it has an AoE, so it can splash out to that range 3, just like Faraga Blade does. And if you're hitting anyone else in it, you can hit multiple people with this if they're stacked on top of each other. And you can land that stop, and that stop can just win you a battle in the arena or in Guild War or wherever it is, in match battle, things of that nature. Very strong here. He also has access to Meditate here, which is a very nice skill for him. Also, probably his second best skill here, definitely his best buff, maybe his only buff. Well, he does have Hazard Form, but this is just way better than Hazard Form. 60% attack, 60% magic, and the most important part, decrease AP consumption by 40 for 3 turns. So 40% of that AP consumption is going to be insane. So you're dropping things, you know, like Judgment Blade, dropping that from like 30 AP down to sub 20 AP. Very, very, very powerful there. And then on top of that, Meditate cost 40 TP, which is a lot of TP, but that is a benefit to you because this is going to give you 20 AP when you use Meditate. So this is a very strong way to start off any battle. Start with Meditate, get that buff up, the decreased AP consumption cost, and just start spamming out Faraga Blades and Judgment Blades. That is pretty much Delita's specialty when it comes to the arena. Now, his other skills we've seen before, his soldier stuff, he has Osmos Force, Hazard Form, Paralyzing Edge, Hazard Spin, Hard Slash. He even has access to Hazard Break. All right, so you can go in there, you can bring him for Hazard Break. It doesn't hit that much harder than Judgment Blade or any of those other skills do, though, but it has a little bit longer range. But I'm telling you guys, a lot of the time you're just going to be going Squire on him for that Meditate buff, for that Judgment Blade and that Faraga Blade. These 3 skills is pretty much all he needs to just lay people out. It's so strong, so powerful. But if you're doing stuff like the Porcelain Tower, you are going to have the ability to fall back to Soldier once you're out of skill uses and have access to all the very powerful Soldier class job abilities for all the damage that you need to be doing as you continue to go through the tower. Any of these infinite floor dungeons, these very infinite, I guess there's not infinite floors, but these multi-floor dungeons that we do have from time to time. He also has access to Paladin. Blade Bash is another status ailment that we could have access to. Divine Grace, Saintly Healing, Sentinel, Taunting Blade, and Immortal Spirit. A lot of the times you guys are not going to be using him. He's not a tank, all right? The best thing that he got from Paladin was his passive ability up here, which gives him Holy Knight's protection for that extra bulk with that percent HP and that defense. And then last but not least is his Limit Burst, 38 AP, but remember, this is also reduced by Meditate, that 40% AP cost reduction buff. The 3-stage Hollowed Bolt of Truth, 2.0 multiplier at max level. At level 1, it's 1.65 multiplier, but it is a 65% chance to inflict silence for 3 turns, 65% faith proc. So if you give your Delita 50% faith and you're going up against a bunch of mage teams, this is nigh guaranteed to inflict silence. So if you're out there, you're fighting against all these mage teams, you want to hit them all with silence because it does have a pretty good range. It does have AoE splash. You're going to land that silence on them a large majority of the time, and all of their spells are just going to be turned off. So it's very, very powerful. One of the best aspects about this character in PvP is his ability to just kind of lock people down. Now, speaking of locking people down, maybe one of the best characters for just getting out there harassing, doing damage, and just shutting people out is Agrias. A very, 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 very bulky, bruiser, annoying character to fight in PvP, and will do a lot of cool stuff for you support-wise in PvE. She's Ice Elemental, obviously you are, move 3, jump 1. She brings her own special job here, the Holy Knight. She also has access to Paladin and Cleric. She wears armors, helms, accessories, and can equip swords here. Her TMR is the Holy Knight armor. It is obviously armor, 488 HP, 6 defense, 11 spirit, and has the TMR effect of the Royal Knighthood Pride. So this one's not super crazy. It gives you protect and shell to yourself for 3 turns. If you have to max it out though, it starts at 10% effectiveness for the protect and shell. Goes all the way up to 25% though, so it's nothing super flashy, but it does help you sort of play your role. She's a very self-sufficient character with her supportive aspects. If you want her to be even more self-sufficient in the arena, in PvP environments, you can go ahead and give this to her, and she'll be just all around really good, really tanky against, especially not just physical and magical damage, but against single target attacks as well, because her master ability here is increase attack resist by 15%. It's the same effect that we've seen before, unlike the Odin card. It reduces your damage taken by attacks that just are targeting one person. So anything out there that's just like a single target nuke, flare, holy, things of that nature, she's just gonna be 15% more effective against that. And this effect does stack with the Odin card. So if you're out there have an Odin card, it's one of her best things. It's gonna get that protect and shell with this Royal Knighthood Pride. Increase attack resistance with the master ability here in the Odin card, and it's very powerful. She has a lot of cool stuff to go over. Stat wise, she's also fairly balanced. She's gonna have, you know, a little less attack than Delita, but a little more HP like we talked about here. She also is pretty quick on her feet, especially with some of the passives that she gains access to in her skills. We'll talk about. She's got a lot of good stuff. All right, very strong. Just a bulky bruiser, harasser. You can get up to like pretty easily without stacking any HP whatsoever. You know, from Espers and things like, you know, 5,000 something HP, a lot of pretty good defense and spirit, increased attack resist from her passives, things of that nature, and you know, 700 and something attack there, and very strong here. Now her element resists that we have access to here: -10 to fire, 20% plus to wind resist here, resistance to damages 5% slash resist, 10% weakness to piercing, 5% strike resist, neutral to missile, and 20% magic resist there as well. So let's get into the most powerful and prominent thing about Agrias, her abilities. She's got a lot of cool ones, guys. All right, so she has Chivalry here, which is an attack percent buff, so she can get up to 30% attack from just this passive. She also has Holy Knight's Protection, 12 defense, 12% HP, Knight's Armor, 12% agility, and 12 spirit, and then spirit up level 1, 15. I know a lot of you guys are like, what's my best passive to put on? Agrias is the character that you can just go in there, and whatever sort of aspect of battle you're trying to accomplish, she's going to be better off in certain circumstances. Are you fighting all magic damage dealers? Put on Knight's Armor, put on Spirit Up. That's going to give you 27 Spirit right there, as well as 12% agility. You want it to be fast and do more damage? Knight's Armor, Chivalry. You want it to be all-round good? Holy Knight's Protection, Knight's Armor. You know, so a lot of cool stuff out there that you can do. Are you fighting no magic damage dealers whatsoever? Chivalry, Holy Knight's Protection. So you can mix and match these to whatever it is that you're fighting against. That's what makes her so cool. She's super flexible in that way. But it's not just her support abilities, because, you know, you can mix and match stats to min-max different battles. That's kind of cool. What's the rest of the stuff that she has access to here? So we have the ability Defend here, which we've seen before with Sword Guard. 30% damage taken, works against everything, 20% proc rate. We have Paladin's Guard, 45% damage reduction here against physical damage. We have Auto Cure as well. This one is probably the one you won't use all that often, but if you want her to maybe be a little bit more self-sufficient, right? Maybe you have her against a bunch of mages, right? And you already have a bunch of spirit. You've built her to be super anti-mage, and she's really not going to care too much about that 30% damage reduction. You can give her auto cure, and she might end up healing more with auto cure than she would have reduced damage by with defend. That's a thing. It's probably going to be the least used one. A lot of you guys out there are just going to throw in defend and be happy with that, max out that counter ability, and be on your way. That's what a lot of people are going to be doing. But she does have other options out there if you want to big brain this character. Now, main job abilities, you'll have access to these no matter what. So she is just like Delita squared when it comes to just inflicting status ailments to the character. We have Northwind Strike here. A long range attack, 3 squares, 25% faith proc for disable on 121% multiplier here. We have some support here with Princess's Royal Guard, 10% HP regeneration for 3 turns. So very nice. Heal herself as well as other people around her when she casts this ability, up to 30% of their HP over those 3 turns there. Hollowed Bolt, another skill here, also AoE, 3 range, 1 range on the AoE there, 1.21 mod, 25 faith proc to silence them. Then we have Judgment Blade, 25% faith proc to stop them. All right, 2.0 multiplier there, costs 30 AP. Then we have Talisman here, which is a very interesting skill, 36 TP, increase spirit by 45 for 1 turn to herself and anyone standing next to her. So this skill, very big brain, especially, you know, if you're getting ready to get hit by a bunch of stuff. This harkens back to, you know, like Sentinel from the Paladin class here, which give you 45 defense and spirit. But this is just spirit, but it's not just for the person casting it. It is for the person casting it and up to 4 other people. So it's very strong. In the right circumstances, it only lasts for 1 turn, but you can run up to someone, right? Run up to your tank, cast Talisman on them, give them 45 spirit, and then they've already taken their turn, so it's just a bunch of enemies. Barrage them with magic damage because your tank is already taunted, and they're just going to take no damage. It's a very, 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 very powerful skill under those circumstances there. Those are the skills that she always has access to. But we have even more. All right, we have even more. Holy Knight as the sub-job gives you Royal Guard's protection, reduces magic damage taken by 15 to 35% for the next 3 hits, and it also affects not just her, but people standing around her, so it's more of that support stuff. She also has access to Full Break here, which is 39% attack, 39% magic, 20 defense, and 20 spirit down for 2 turns as well. And it has a 2 range there with 32 AP as the cost. And then we have even more buffs here. I believe in you, 30% attack and 30% magic for 3 turns when attacking melee units. Although, and I realize that this site that we're going over right here says when attacking melee units, that's just been removed from the global version. If you go into the game and look it up, it just raises allies attack and magic for 3 turns. So this is a fantastic support ability as well. Offensive support aspects, very similar to something like, you know, Shout. Also has a very long range here on top of that. So very strong capabilities here with I believe in you to up someone's damage on your team. Now, that's all her unique skills. Outside of her limit burst, disable, silence, stop, full breaks, all that other crazy stuff, some buffs to defense and spirit and damage reduction and attack and magic, very strong stuff. Her paladin sub-job here is going to give you access to the ability to turn her into a tank if you do want to. She is bulky enough to be a tank, but her only way to increase her enmity, her hate, is taunting blade. So the old style, right, with Mont and Engelbert. She doesn't have any of those skills that like Warrior Blade or Rain have, where she has a TP skill that gives her threat that she just uses instantly. She does not have access to that. So you're gonna have to give her like Vow of Love and things of that nature if you want her to do that. So we have Blade Bash, Saintly Healing, Sentinel, Taunting Blade, Divine Grace, Saintly Wall. All of these are old skills that we've seen before. Saintly Wall, very strong, reducing physical damage by 50% for 3 hits there. Divine Grace, restoring her HP and raising her max HP. Sentinel we've talked about, and she also has access to Talisman and Sentinel if you give her Paladin. So she's going to be able to Talisman herself, Sentinel herself, Talisman herself, Sentinel herself, become really annoying that way and live for a long period of time under certain conditions there. And then she also has access to another status ailment effect here in the form of Blade Bash. Now, the one you probably guys won't use ever is Cleric. So she gets Cure, Banish, Prong Staff, Light Veil, Dark Veil, Calamity Guard. If you ever use her for this for any reason whatsoever, it's probably going to be for Calamity Guard because it protects you against poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, and confusion here, which might become a more prominent ability with characters like Agrias starting to become more prominent and popular in the meta. Now, the last one here is her Limit Burst, Candescent Hue. Very strong LB, very long range, as you can see. Line piercing attack here, 5 range, 2.0 mod with a 67% faith chance to inflict confusion for 3 turns. So very strong. If you run Agrias on high faith, mid faith, whatever, you're going up against mages who have high faith, and you leave your Agrias' faith at 50, which is what I would do. I know I said 50 weird. 50. Leave it at 50, and everyone else has 97. This is going to, like we said with Delita, pretty much almost guarantee you a very high chance, success rate anyway, you know, 88 something % chance to just inflict that confusion. Very, very, very strong there. Now with the AI changes as well, not only can you gear up your Agrias with her support aspects to kind of tool her against certain things, certain enemies that you're fighting against, but she does have access to a bunch of different status ailments. So a lot of the times you're going to be using Judgment Blade for the stop here, and then the silence and the disable, which is another thing that you can do. If you don't, for whatever reason, want to inflict disable, you don't want to inflict stop, right? Maybe you don't want to do stop because the enemy Ayaka is just going to walk up and LB, heal all stop. You could, if you're against a bunch of mages, make it just Hallowed Bolt is your strongest skill here. And then maybe have like full break and things of that nature for later on. But have her walk up, hit Hallowed Bolt, hit that silence proc, hit that confusion proc with a limit burst. You won't really need to do that though. A lot of the times that Judgment Bolt, you just don't want to take it off. It's just too strong for what it does. I mean, 25% faith proc to inflict stop. What's going to happen 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen? She's going to walk up. She's going to hit you with her limit burst, confuse somebody. She'll walk up. She's going to hit someone with Judgment Blade, stop somebody. And that's just going to be GG. That's just going to be game over. So that's Agrias in a nutshell. I quickly want to touch on Mustadio as well because he's very unique in his abilities. Now, he is Machinist, Ranger, Thief, all right? But his TMR skill and his master ability are pretty interesting out here. So his TMR is Best Radio. I don't even know. It's a gun-type weapon here, and it has a unique skill. It's got an on-hit proc rate, which we've seen before. It's a 15% chance to decrease evasion by 40 for 3 turns. This is pretty interesting. It allows you to do weird stuff, right? Like build Mustadio for super high accuracy and then just pray that this auto attack of his hits and then procs the evasion down. But on top of that, his master ability gives him that 30 accuracy to go about living that life, and then has a chance to inflict, immobilize, disable, and blind on your auto attacks as well. So he's like an auto attacks king, right? He's a ranged auto attack king. He's not gonna hit you for a lot of damage, but he's got high accuracy. You give him some accuracy gear, maybe give him that free accuracy card that we have access to too, or maybe the Flag of Wazet or the Crystal Sanctum flag, which gives you a bunch of accuracy on top of that. And he's gonna have the ability to just annoy people. Now, am I saying it's gonna be top tier? You know, we're going to Diamond 1, right? Champion 1, Mustadio. No, we're not saying that, but this could be an option for you guys out there who maybe get your hands on Mustadio. He's got a lot of shards out there and you're just sick of seeing all these evasion characters. You're getting wrecked by him all the time. He could be an option for you. You protect your Mustadio, you have a tank out there, and then you do things of that nature. Could be something worth exploring there. His skills, he does have access to a lot of the familiar stuff here. We have aim, which is range +1 and jump +1. That's his new passive from Machinist here. We have Ranger Lore for 25% more accuracy, missile attack up, Thief Lore for that move +1 and agility 12. We also have focus and acquired AP up skills we've seen before, but that's just another 25% accuracy right there. So he's got 30 from his master ability, 25 from Ranger Lore. Give him a piece of accuracy gear, and then go ahead. Does he have accuracy on his TMR? 18 accuracy on his TMR too. So a lot of crazy stuff you could do with this guy. He's very anti-evasion, so he's got a lot of cool stuff that you can do around and play around with. His counters, he has Auto Potion, which has a proc rate chance of 20% to heal himself back up. He has Reflex, which is probably the go-to here for you guys. Let's quickly talk about his main job stuff that we have here. So he's got Power Shot, which is blind, safeguard, debuff resistance, that's kind of whatever. He has Seal Evil, which I think might be for the first time in the game that we have someone that can petrify, 10% faith proc to petrify someone for 1 turn. There's only 1 turn though. We have Multi-Burst and Quick Shot. If you choose to make Machinist your sub job as well, you have access to Camouflage, Leg Shot, as well as Arm Shot for the immobilize and the disable, both 25% faith procs there as well. So if you're going for the debuff enabler Mustadio, you are actually going to want to run him high faith, 97 faith. That's going to increase the odds that you are landing these debuffs, increase the odds of your on hit effects, things of that nature. It's just what you're going to want to be doing there. His other stuff here that is Ranger and Thief. We've seen it before. He does have Steal Time. He does have Shadow Cast. If you want to make him an evasion, anti-evasion character, you can do that as well. He also has Steal Vision to increase the evasion rate of your team because you're lowering the accuracy rate of the enemy team. He still has access to Vigilance as well for evasion rate if you want to go Ranger. Sharpshoot for anti-dodge as well on top of that. So a lot of cool stuff you can do with him, with Mustadio. A lot of you guys out there are just going to use his main job, Machinist, for the Immobilize, for the Disable, for the Petrify, for the Blind, things of that nature. Very strong character to kind of meme around with. I know, I said very strong meme. Maybe that's what he is. Maybe Mustadio is the ultimate meme here. So those are the 3 characters. Let's also quickly talk about the Blades of Grass card. We got one of these for free. It is still on the banner. How good is this card? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your investment? The Blades of Grass is an anti-evasion meta card, is basically what it is. Now, the character who has it equipped gets attack up to, some percentage of attack, all the way fully awakened. I do believe it's 20% attack, 5 decreased evasion for yourself. But the real thing about the Blade of Grass card is that it is giving your entire team accuracy. So the one card that you get right away, if you don't awaken it whatsoever, you max it out at level 40. I believe it gives you 10 accuracy. But if you have it leveled up fully, level 99, time limited UR card, gives you 25 accuracy. So this card is pretty good. It's a role fulfiller, but it doesn't solve your problem on your own. If you're fighting someone who's got 98 dodge or whatever, 10 dodge on your party is not going to solve that problem for you. 25 dodge on your party is not going to solve that problem for you. It's much easier to sort of solve those problems with the things that we have access to already, like the guaranteed hit effects and things of that nature. You could use this as sort of a part of a solution. The card isn't the solution in and of itself, but it could be part of the solution, right? You have a character with innate accuracy, like Mustadio. You have Blades of Grass. You have Alexandrite Ring, or whatever sort of accuracy weapon or accuracy piece of equipment that you have access to. Then all of a sudden you have, 15 from your card, 15 from a master ability, 15, 20 from a piece of gear, and then it starts adding up. And you start increasing your odds of actually landing those blows on your opponent. So, that's what I have to say about the card. If you think it's going to solve all your problems by itself, it's not going to. And if you thought it was going to, steer away from the card. Don't level it up. But if you want it to be like a game player, definitely go for it. It does take up a slot, especially if you're looking at Arena, Guild War, things of that nature. A card slot is very important. You only get 3 of them, so keep that in mind as well. Now let's also talk about this card here, the Red Chocobo. All right, it's a magic-based card. Gives whoever has it equipped magic up to 20%. It also increases light attack. Very powerful. This also helps you out against anti-dodge, because Holy is a very strong thing against dodge characters. So 15-20% magic at max unbound here for the Red Chocobo card, up to 20 extra light attack here for Holy. Very strong. It also comes with its own Chocobo, which is going to give you the Red Chocobo Esper, which gives you Choco Meteor, which is also a magic focus card, but this is an attack focus Esper. But the other thing that it does do here, and I do believe that the Esper, when you summon it, Choco Meteor also has 100% accuracy as well, but you can't really choose when to summon stuff in AI controlled PvP, because who knows why that's designed that way. But anyway, the card itself gives you, most notably, there's missile resistance nodes, slash attack increase nodes, dark killer nodes, and dark resistance nodes. So we have the light boosting magic card, and then we have the anti-dark, dark killer, dark resistance, slash attack up, missile resist Esper for you guys. So a lot of the times the cards in the Esper sort of do the same thing. I wanted to mention this one because the cards in the Esper sort of do the opposite things when it comes to the Red Chocobo here for a lot of you guys out there. So that's going to be us for today, guys. The Mustadio, Blades of Grass, Agrias and Delita. Very strong characters. Pretty long video, I know, but I want to get all that out there. Let me know if you're pulling for these characters down below. Make sure you check out the other stuff in the description. I am out of breath at this time. Thank you guys for that support. Hopefully you guys are having a good one out there. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.